So let's firstly read this up, read this component, whatever I've explained to you, and then let's move ahead as to what is going to happen further. So here, when we talk on the scenario, that in the February 1919, Gandhiji is going to form the Satyagraha Sabha, whose members took a pledge to disobey the act and thus to court, arrest and imprisonment. This was the new method of struggle. Now, because of this method, many people, they now felt the sense of completion, the sense of completely participating within the movement. So that was the ideal. Now, methods that were followed until now were big meetings and demonstrations, refusal to cooperate with the government, and boycott of foreign cloth and liquor. But now even this was done. This was told to be done, and disobeying the act was also told to be done. So here, disobeying the act. So this was a legal phenomena. Yeah, and when there was openly disobedience, so that is there. So Gandhi, he asked the nationalistic workers to go to villages because that is where India lives, and he's going to ask the people to, because there was boycott of foreign cloth and liquor, so he's going to ask the Congress workers to go to the various villages and create awareness about the Khadi. Khadi, it was the indigenous textile that was to be, promoted. When you are boycotting foreign cloth, so we have already seen that whenever you boycott, there is an indigenous production that should be kept up. So here, when the particular foreign cloth was boycotted, so Khadi was to be promoted. And when we talk about Khadi, one of the main reason for Gandhi to promote Khadi, it is going to be that Khadi, it would give the farmers a way of life. So when the Khadi is being manufactured, it is going to be produced, it could be sold, and based on that, the farmers could derive some income that would help them live their life. So what was the Gandhian ideology was that India's salvation would come, he said, when the masses were weakened, when the masses were awakened, okay, when the masses were awakened from their sleep and became active in politics. So then it will happen. Now after that, what happened is, when Gandhiji, he had told so in the Satyagraha Sabha, after that the whole of the entire country, it was very much boosted, motivated and electrified. And because of that, the people, they are going to organize strikes, they are going to organize hartals, they are going to organize marches, demonstrations, gatherings, they are going to court arrest, they are going to openly disobey, they are going to do the boycott, and simultaneously they promoted Swadeshi, they are going to do slogans, and they are going to promote Hindu Muslim unity and etc. Now when such things were done, it was obviously very much, threatening for the Britishers. And when there were so much big gatherings happening in the whole of the India, one major gathering happened in the area of Punjab, and that gathering happened in the area of a very big ground, and that particular ground was known as the Jallianwala Bagh. So what had happened is that it was a very auspicious occasion of Baisakhi. Baisakhi is considered to be a very auspicious festival for the Punjab and the Sikh people and the Punjabis. So generally, it on this particular day, the people, they gather and they celebrate the occasion together. And at that point of time, what had happened is that just prior to Baisakhi, the Britishers under the Rowlatt Act, they had also arrested two important leaders of Punjab, and they are going to be Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kitchlew. So here the two important leaders, that is Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kitchlew. Now these two important personalities, they were arrested by the Britishers, and these two important personalities, they were one example of the Hindu Muslim unity that was prevalent at that point of time in the northern India, which could be a threat to the Britishers. Now, how were they an example of Hindu Muslim unity? It is because that these particular people, that is Dr. Dr. Satyapal, he was called at the Jama Masjid to give a speech. Okay, a Hindu being called to an Islamic site. Moreover, Dr. Saifuddin Kitchlew, Mr. Saifuddin Kitchlew, he was given the keys of a temple. He was given the keys of a temple. So this indicated the idea of Hindu-Muslim unity. Now, at that point of time, when such things were happening, it was a threat to the British. So the Britishers had arrested Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kitchlew, and at that point of time, the Baisakha came, and the people here of the Punjab, they are going to decide to gather on the very big ground of Jallianwala, and there they would celebrate the Baisakh festival also, and also they would do the demonstration against the Britishers for the illegal arrest of Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kitchlew. So here, when they went to Jallianwala, so Jallianwala Bagh, it had only one entrance and one exit. Means the same entrance was the same exit, and it was covered by big buildings from all the sides. So here, thousands of people had gathered. Now, at that point of time, the governor of Punjab, his name is going to be Robert O. Dwyer. And there was one general, the military general at that point of time. His name was General Reginald Dyer. So what happened is that Reginald Dyer, he gets to know that there is a massive gathering that is going to happen there. And Reginald Dyer, he is going to call upon Robert O'Dwyer that this is going to be the scenario. So Robert O'Dwyer is going to order Reginald Dyer to do anything, take any step in order to prevent a gathering. So at that point of time, Reginald Dyer, he is going to march on with his men, that is his soldiers, who belong to the Afghan regiment, and they marched towards the Jallianwala Bagh. They locked the doors with the chains, and General Reginald Dyer is going to order his troops to take the firing position towards the crowd. Now the crowd was like, okay, they are just taking the positions, and they might just be doing it to scare us and all. The crowd was of that opinion. And suddenly, on a sudden, there was a very large voice that came, there was a very large sound that came, and that is going to be of fire. And bullets rained down on the people, shredding their skin. Blood spilled all over the Jallianwala Bagh. More than 1,000 people massacred. It was a genocide, the biggest genocide, one of the biggest genocide that the Britishers have done on innocent people. So that after that Jallianwala Bagh was done, and later on the Britishers are going to, give a reason for such a massacre, that those were dacoits. But in reality, those were innocent children, innocent people. So Reginald Dyer, he is going to fire upon them. And that was known as Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. Now this Jallianwala Bagh Massacre, as soon as this happened, the whole of the country, it was stunned. The whole country, it was stunned. And because of that, now when the whole country was crying, and the Jallianwala Bagh happened on 13th April 1919, just after that, Gandhiji is going to withdraw the Rowlatt Satyagraha. Now, between this time, just after Jallianwala Bagh happened, the Britishers wouldn't stop at just the Jallianwala Bagh. The Britishers went much ahead. They declared martial law in Punjab because they thought that maybe people could uprise in there, but the people were crying because that was a very big loss for them. The Britishers declared martial law, and they could not just stop at this. They took much more stern measures. That means they arrested various professors. They are going to force the students to walk down 20 kilometers one side to reach the police station to just give their attendance at the police station. So the children had to walk 40 kilometers round in order to reach the police station and go back home. So every day they were told to do that. The young children, they were told to salute the Union Jack. The weddings, they were crashed by the Britishers. Moreover, the electricity that was supplied to the Indian houses, those were rerouted to the British houses. The Britishers had the power to forcefully enter anywhere they wanted. Such stern measures were taken, the Britishers couldn't just stop at doing the Jallianwala Bagh, so they did so much of things here. And in retaliation to this, there was Rabindranath Tagore, Sri Rabindranath Tagore, who is going to renounce his knighthood. So the UPSC, similarly, there was one another person in the year of 1917 when Annie Besant, she was arrested. So there was one person known as G. Subramaniam Iyer. He also had renounced the knighthood, and the UPSC had asked a question on that. So similarly, here also on the aspect of Jallianwala Bagh, there it was the Rabindranath Tagore who is going to renounce his knighthood. That is going to